So most of you have probably wondered where I have been for the last few months. Well, 2024 turned into a very busy year and nothing got done here on Terrain Craft Chronicles. But the terrain projects themselves didn't stop. I have a ton of stuff that I have put together and I filmed and I'm going to be bringing it out. We've had a little bit of a shift in the dynamics around our scheduling. That's myself and Mary. And hopefully that means now I can declutter some of my life. Many of the commissions are now over. I'm not doing anywhere near as many conventions or festivals this year. That said, I am doing UK Games Expo at the end of May at the NEC in Birmingham, and I am having a super big stand where I am going to be showcasing some of my terrain, but also you guys are going to be able to, for free, build some terrain pieces with me alongside. We can have a chat, have a laugh, maybe grab a coffee, and just enjoy the one part of the hobby, terrain building, that we all get to do. So if you are planning to come to UK Games Expo, I believe I'm going to be somewhere around about by the Brigham by. Anyway, so what's actually going on in the channel? I've got a big run of round the table games coming up, which are going to showcase some pieces of terrain. It's going to be a very terrain heavy run of games. I've got a gaming table that I'm building right here, right now, which is basically a 4x2 table, which is going to be modular, so I can build on it from it for downstairs in the actual game table. Saying downstairs, you will notice the sloping roof, a slightly different place to where you normally see me video, and that is because I have also spent some time shifting where I actually make my terrain. My workshop downstairs outside was getting more and more confined and difficult to work in. And as some of you may recall from earlier Monday Montage episodes, that this has been plodding along this space up in the attic here. So now I have myself a nice big space over here, all of my tools and some materials around me. Sorry, I've had to turn this light off because it blows out my face on the camera there. So there's a ton of stuff going on with project. I have several metric tons of other people's junk stored down in my cellar. Stuff I've collected from jumble sales and car boot sales, and stuff that has been donated, and just stuff I've found on the street that I've just piled and piled and piled over these last few years of running the channel. But my capacity to find it, buy it and store it has outstripped my capacity to build stuff from it. So I've got a plan in mind. For a period of time, my channel was called Sean's Bits Box, and I am going to be launching one of my video releases will be called Sean's Bits Box, and that is because I'm going to be making a product that is going to release and trial sales at UK Games Expo as well. And it is basically going to be a bits box. It is going to have a shape that is interesting in its own right and can be incorporated into builds. I am going to be running new terrain making sessions, which is exclusive to using just the bits box. But the bits box itself is basically going to contain a whole bunch of little greeblies that have been extracted from the junk that's downstairs. A few bits and pieces to help take that small component part and turn it into something interesting, scattered terrain or otherwise, for our game tables.
So if you're thinking, well, okay, Sean, but where are you actually going with all of this? What's the end result? Well, the end result is for you to be able to make something akin to this. Let's just put this in the picture, which has been made from what you just saw in that little segment a moment ago. The video for this make will be out next week, hopefully just before Games Expo. So you'll be able to see the process that went into actually making this from the bits box. As you can see, it has been all done onto the physical box itself, which is a key feature that I really want to encourage. And I have a number of projects in mind to take this forward a bit more advanced than this basic idea. Now obviously you won't be able to repeat exactly what I've done here, because every bits box is going to contain its own unique set of greeblies that I've got resourced from the junk downstairs. But I'm hoping that it inspires you to go and look for your own greeblies and bits as well to add to your project. And the upcoming videos which I have planned will dig deeper into that idea as well. But don't forget, you'll be able to see this piece and me and a whole bunch of boxes of resources to have a go at building something with alongside me at UK Games Expo. If you're going to be there for all 3 days, brilliant, because you'll have a lot of time if you want to come and spend an hour or two on each day. If you're only there for the day, come and make something really small. Just come along and have a go at the board that I'm going to be making whilst I'm there as well. Add your little bit into that board and make it a community project at the same time. I think this is a really great idea. Mary thinks it's a really great idea because it gets rid of some of that junk that's downstairs. And I really hope you get to have a go at this. There will only be a handful of these available at UK Games Expo. Not this particular piece. There will only be a handful of boxes available at UK Games Expo to trial it first before moving it to a bigger production idea. But let's see how that works out. So if you really, really want to support this concept, this channel, this is one way to do it. They're only going to be a few pounds, nothing extravagant for right now. Let's see where it goes.
So last year was an extremely busy year between commissions and trying to sort out the space capacity of all of the terrain projects that I've got on the go. And of course my own artwork. This particular project kept me very busy as well. So this is my currently live Kickstarter for a 56-page illustrated book telling the tale of Khalil 2, as well as a bunch of other artwork and behind the scenes about my artwork. I just wanted to share this bit of news with you. I am at this point, just at the tail end of April 25, 96% funded, which is fantastic news. I'm really pleased with that. Obviously this channel historically was both my terrain and art endeavors, and I separated out the two toward the latter half of last year so that my art channel is slowly growing on its own over there. But I wanted to just throw it out to you guys. You were there for supporting me right from the very beginning of my YouTube journey. And I wanted to throw it out that my Kickstarter is a very deeply rooted project for me. My terrain is for the love, my art is for the love, but my art is what pays the bills and puts dinner on the table. If you really wanted to support me, by heading down into the doobly bits below, you'll find the link to my Kickstarter, or it should be up here, one of these corners, as a link as well. And I will be eternally grateful. I will occasionally give you news on this in my Monday montages, but if you want to really stay on top of what's happening with this What Lies Beneath book cover and the respective artwork that goes inside, or any other artwork that I do, then don't forget, head on over to my art channel as well and subscribe there. Moving on.
So it's been a short while since I've worked on this. Here we go. The dwarven wall piece that is setting the sort of the theme for my overall Dwarven Realms set that I'm building for an upcoming campaign. Now, I'm at a point whereby I'm quite happy with how this is going. I have another element which you haven't yet seen, which is a much bigger structure. Some of you may have caught that on Reddit potentially. But I need to make some actual wall pieces now. And so that is my next step. I have a bunch... I have a bunch now of foam board, which is going to create the basic back piece to this. So the Dwarven Walls project has moved on a little from what you just saw there. This is where they currently are at, a much sleeker design with much more of a modularity idea in them. Also, I wanted to move away from the broken, worn, weathered, aged architecture to something that looked like it was old, but still untouched by the rigors of time, you know, to kind of cement the idea of the hard longevity of dwarven architecture. And you'll see I've introduced this real nice geometry on the back of these walls, and indeed on the front of these walls there's a lot of detailing happening. And that detail has certainly slowed down the hand making aspect of these, although I've been using the Cricut, which has been good fun, and I'm going to be introducing some of the files for that to you guys in the community tab when that video releases, so look out for more freebie stuff like that in the future. These are intended, I have a collection here, there are 6 of these. I have one last piece to make, which is technically going to be a corner piece, so that these walls can go around corners. But I have a real plan for these. I really want to make resin casts of these and have those available at UK Games Expo. Now, time is starting to run a bit short now, as I'm sure you can guess, because we are at the beginning of May and Games Expo is at the end of May, and this is the current state of play these walls are in. So I have a lot of work to do, and with a closing Kickstarter as well, that's going to make for a pretty intense month. So we will see where that gets to. The full making video of these will be my next video release after this Monday montage, which may well be just after Games Expo, so look out for that around about the end of May, beginning of June. Guys, thank you very much for sticking around. It's been a bit of a jam-packed Monday montage, but it's been quite a while. So I will sign off now and try and sort my desk out, my workspace out, and get on with some of these projects. See you later, guys. Bye-bye for now.